what she does too. I mean, my God, she was taking places. Yeah. But yeah, I think that would be really wow.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go over there. So I'm gonna tell them that you something. What time are you gonna be done here? If you can do it.
6 or 6:30.
Do that. So you want to do it? You're not leaving tomorrow morning, though. Right. Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna do that after dinner.
Where are you set up? Not we got room next week. Before you do some press passes,
but it's a field. Supposedly
what's that?
By the restaurant.
Yeah, probably till about 6:30 or so. In the brown jacket.
He's the one that you heard me say the statement, Doc, you bring the script, I'll make it 45. Oh, okay.
So Ross Perot also ran for the Libertarian Party, right?
He was independent. He was enough money to get some right. Okay.
But then they threatened to start. I was actually in the Ross Perot campaign.
Testing 1 2. Test. Testing checkity check. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2. Test. Testing 1 2. Check.
Yeah, it would make too much sense to have a person that runs the country as a business. Yeah. And do it successfully. Too much to make you. Yeah. Make too much sense.
Ron Paul's a good guy, but he had 7 friends. I have a wife and family. The only person that can I thought shit,
They've done that before too, huh?
the next election I participated in Texas secedes. That's the job.
That Connecticut, remember when I talked to you about when they said Connecticut released all the data on all owners? And they had the red dots everywhere. You remember that I told you, did you get that about Texas? And I actually thought, and somebody said it, that asked Ty, I don't think so. Yeah, that's what I heard, that Texas has also done the same thing. And then Ty researched and sent it back to me because, yeah, you were right, here it is. And I opened it up, and the image, the whole state's red. The whole state, one big red dot. The whole state, there's nothing, I was like solid red, you know, it was like.
That's Texas.
Yeah.
Well, the Bureau of Land Management is trying to take land and cattle in Nevada. Well, the
Texas is like
federal government technically owns 90% of it anyway. I mean, except for Las Vegas. Who gives a shit? And you still had 300 armed people stand up and bitch slap the BLM. So now BLM wants to come and take land in Texas from the Red River. It's like you gotta be shitting. You gotta be shitting. You got bitch slapped in Nevada, and you think you're coming to Texas?
Yeah. I've seen those here because I did my internship in Texas in Houston, and I did my residency in San Antonio. My first girlfriend when I was in high school. In fact, I got a driver's license. Really? My Northern State ID, but not my driver's license still says Texas, right? I still have my active military because that's up, so they never take away your heart. So I can maintain my residency anyway, still in Texas. But the best thing that I saw in Texas is like, you know, when you go to the gift shop and they've got like these T-shirts, it says they got a map of the world, and it says it's a picture of Texas, and then it says Texas, and then it says the rest of the world. Map of the world, and it's like Texas and the rest of the world.
Amen. Not just a state, it's a state of
Yeah, it's like 98% of the North American continent is Texas, you know, and then you've got the rest of the world. Not even mention the U.S. All right, I'm gonna run. Okay. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Got my vote if you run again.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Roseanne Lindsay.
All right, I'll stand.
It's funny. It's like my mom is just following. It took me out of the phone.
Oh, okay.
Here we go. Well, I'll talk to okay, all right, there's a Girl Scout.
All right. All right. That's great. Slow down a little bit. Like, okay, this is okay.
All right. I'm going to be doing some interviews here. Hope I'm not overdriving the mic here. Let me see here.
I think I need one of those chocolate soy drinks. Or chocolate coconut. They still do chocolate coconut
Chocolate coconut?
drinks.
The coffee?
It's coconut milk, chocolate.
Oh, those. Oh, I don't know. I haven't had one of those since yesterday.
Where's he? It is cool. Well, I don't have any turquoise jewelry.
Wow. For what?
Is this like the double helix?
Yeah, it's a point of use at the sink so that all of the water that you drink in the sink
So is this exactly the same or is it
That we what?
different process of production.
We might be here a little later than 6, doing the recording, depending on whether we get them all. After that, I think we're done. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what Robert said.
maybe this quality is a little bit higher?
Okay, well, okay, let's see what they have going. But yeah, I'm all for it.
Paul Bear here. I write about the technology of it.
All right, test, 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 test.
Well, it goes through a little bit of the water. There's a blowout bucket in the outside with the water on it. This is yeah, I make it
Test, 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 test. Testing 1 2. Test test test. Check 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 check. Testing 1 2. Test test test. All right. Testing 1 2. Test 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 test. Devices. Levels. Testing 1 2. Test check check check. Test 1 2. Test. Testing 1 2. Test 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 test. Test 1 2. Test check. Testing test test test. All right.
Yeah, but I work in Australia. I've lived all over the world. It's like I go somewhere like, I'll be back in a week or two. I don't come back for 7 months. Last time I come back home for 2 years. Well, I've never been married, don't have any kids, so I've got the freedom. It's like, when I call my mom, she's trying to reach me.
Say hi to her.
No, you can call her.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, she thinks that's strange.
No, this was at Disney too. Oh yes, I'll be speaking there. I'll have a booth in 2 different buildings. No, my good friend Trisha McCann probably does something like that. So get a information book too. Cannabis cures, really. Yes. So cannabinoids are like the most healthiest thing you can do to your body when the THC is removed. CBD is incredible. Yeah, yeah. You know, like I should turn you on to I have one in my car. It's a vape, a non CBD vape without THC. Nice. Yeah, they have that booth here. Okay. So check it out. Okay. Yeah. Bring it over from European. Really? Yeah, this is all in the U.S. It's out of Orlando. I'll give you a snippet on it. I'll send you this.
Robert, right behind you. Oh, here. All right. We are just waiting here for a couple of interviews. We're pre-recording for next week, but if you are watching here and if you stay tuned, you'll get to hear it here first. All right, very busy here today. As you can see, we got, there's Michael Badnark right there. Robert Scott Bell. We got Paul Bertiero. There's Theo Quinto. I don't know why that sounds like Anyway, I won't say. So yeah, pretty good crowd here today. There's the folks down there from Hemp Meds PX. The big cannabidiol signs. We got Mike and Passion right next door to us here. And so I guess you get to stare at me here for a few minutes while we're waiting for one of, I think, 3 different guests that we're going to be pre-recording today. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, absolutely. They did that once already in Denver. Oh, he did. Oh, okay, cool. Right. Awesome. Very cool. Okay. You you've got connections. Right. Oh my goodness. All right, here we go, Robert.
Okay. Yep, they got a. Okay. Oh, is he ready now?
Test, 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 test. Check, 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 check. Testing. 1, 2. Test, 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 test.
Okay. All right, Don, you guys are going to start with me.
Okay.
Because doctor's not ready.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
Test, test, test. Check, 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 check. Testing. 1, 2. Test, 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 test. All right. We are just minutes away with our first interview with Leah Parker. She is a doctor and the mother of Rachel Parker, who, if you tune into the show today, you got to hear her daughter, who is a fantastic singer, was diagnosed with the autism spectrum. And you'll have to go back and listen to the archives today to listen to her sing, because she's absolutely amazing. She did a rendition of Adele. And she actually, she's in, I believe, Branson, Missouri, and is going to be trying out for American Idol next year. So if you're not a watcher of American Idol, you want to tune in next season, keep your eye out for Rachel Parker. But we've got her mother coming up here in just a moment, and we'll be recording this for next week. But if you're tuned in here to the live video streaming, you'll get a sneak peek at that interview before anybody else hears it on the radio. So bear with us for just a moment as we get set up here for the interview. Hey, we got Brian Hooker stopping by the booth. Wave at the world. All right, there we go. All right. Thank you. Did that work out okay? Okay.
I was so glad he was there. Yeah. I'm so glad he was there. Of course, I missed this talk, and I missed your
So, anyway, we are waiting for Dr. Leah Parker. She will be our first interview. Also coming up, we will have, who do we got here? Barbara Fairchild, and she's got a, let's see, she's an autism fundraiser. And I guess there's an autism fundraiser coming up in Branson, Missouri. And so we'll be talking to her about that. Also, we will have an awesome interview with Dr. Bradstreet, who spoke here at Autism One today, talking about a link that has been discovered between the endocannabinoid system and autism. I personally was not able to make it to that presentation, but I hear that it was absolutely outstanding. So we're looking forward to that. And look what my wife just brought. What do we got here? A case? Okay. So I just got handed some So Delicious dairy-free chocolate coconut milk. So now this is one of the fringe benefits of going to an event like this is we get to try some cool stuff out. So that soy-free, dairy-free, non-GMO verified, 60% less sugar than leading brands of chocolate milk. So sounds good to me. I don't think I can turn down chocolate milk. So yeah, just one of the many things that we've been able to see and experience here at Autism One here in Chicago. Another one which I believe will be airing on Sunday is a company over here called Bulletproof Coffee. And anybody who's been listening to the show for any period of time knows that I'm the Java junkie on the show. As much, yes. So you don't have the headset on. You don't know what I'm saying about you right now. Anyway, yeah, Bulletproof Coffee. Yeah, we've got an interview with the owner, the president of Bulletproof Coffee, and it's an interesting product. They call it upgraded coffee. And I have to admit, they've been serving it in these little tiny cups here, which, you know, for Super Don, this is like an appetizer. This is like a shot glass, right? But I've gone back and forth several times because this coffee is awesome. It's totally organic, totally clean. In their facility, they monitor the growing of the coffee. They very closely watch the standards of the processing, and then they lab test the coffee at the end of the production line before they send it out. And so it's devoid of all toxins and impurities, and they add some things to it that make it just absolutely awesome. I can't even begin to sit here and get into the science of it, but it's some of the best coffee that I've drank. It doesn't give you that jitter, up and then followed by the crash like a lot of, like Starbucks, which, like, I've drank Starbucks for a long time, but this coffee is awesome. So we'll be talking to him, I believe, on Sunday. And I have no idea what else. If you didn't make it this year, we're doing the best we can to try and get as much of this to you as possible. And we'll be pre-recording these interviews like this, like we will be doing here, and playing these throughout next week. So anyway, if you found this link on Facebook, if you've got any questions, you want to interact in any way, you can go to the Facebook page, Robert Scott Bell, and leave a question or a comment. We'd be happy to answer any questions that you got or just acknowledge the things that you had to say. And in the meantime, I'm just waiting for Robert. It's funny because this is the second event that I've been able to go to with Robert. And I have a new appreciation appreciation for the guy that I call the hardest working man in Health Talk Radio, because these things are insane. These things are insane. Not only are you dealing with the time change, which for Robert, I guess it was just 1 hour coming from Florida here to Chicago, but for me it was 2 hours, and I'm still not quite used to the time difference. But the fast pace, I mean, you get up in the morning and you're just going, and it doesn't stop. And actually, just to add to it, tomorrow we are going to be flying to Atlanta just for the day. So we're going to be on a plane in the morning, leaving at 8 o'clock in the morning, and getting back to Chicago at 8 o'clock that night. And so, like I said, I've got a new appreciation for Robert with all the traveling stuff he does. This is not easy, but it's definitely rewarding because we get to meet a lot of really neat people, a lot of people that are passionate about what it is that they're doing, and just out there helping people. And so it's a great way to meet people and get connected and network with people.
And they come in my office and they're sitting there and they're crying.
And then you find ways that you can maybe help people that you hadn't thought of before. So it's very cool. So if you haven't had a chance to go into these, you know, or the various other events that are going on across the country, like the Healing Revolution Summit coming up in Asheville, North Carolina. I believe that's June, I want to say June 18th. You definitely want to go to that. So, all right, so I'm about to I'm about to drink my So Delicious dairy-free coconut milk, which I think I accidentally put the straw in upside down, but I think it still works. So. Oh, God, that's good.
No, 9:45 and 11, I believe. It's on the board right before.
All right, so we got Robert over here. I know I'm not very exciting. I apologize. Let's see what's happening around here. Michael Badnarik. There's the back of Robert's head. For any of you who are wondering what the back of Robert's head looks like, there's the back of Robert's head. And Paul Bertio. All right, so I don't know what else I'm supposed to do here. Am I supposed to sing, do a dance? I'm sure this is not terribly exciting, sitting here staring, looking at me. I know somebody's watching. I don't know who it is.
And she was I was. 2 seconds. That's normal. They called her the next American Idol on the air. They also did it in the
There is a way here on the Google Hangout for you to ask questions and talk and chat and stuff like that, but I don't think I can get it to work at this point.
How do I go to your...
Still figuring out this Google Plus thing. On the show notes, yeah. RobertScottBell.com. Yep.
Yeah, but I was talking to them about my story yesterday about how I was sick as a kid and I recovered, and it got into more than that. And then they were asking about like my singing. And
this is who we're going to be interviewing. That's Dr. Leah Parker there. Just getting ready to do this. In fact, there is Dr. Leah Parker there. And there is Rachel Parker, who is on the show today, the future American Idol.
Oh, there you are, Rachel.
And then I sang, and they were like, "Well, you heard it first, the new American Idol." It's like, "Oh, you guys, whatever."
Right here.
I know it. Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, you snooze, you lose, man. What are you doing over there?
Oh my gosh.
All right, give me a mic check. No, let's see here.
This
What's
child.
going on with this microphone?
She's like, I can do this. Hello, how are y'all doing? Oh, we'll have the government.
Grab that one instead. Let's switch them. I don't know what's going on with that one.
Now, Rachel, you can't be saying.
Well, are you serious?
There we go. All right.
What's up?
So we're just, I don't know what's going on here. Robert's like talking to somebody else there. So I figured we'll get Rachel Parker on the Google Hangout. Why not?
All right, I'm his replacement.
All right. So we had Rachel on this morning, actually.
Yes.
And, you know, you heard it first. I believe look, my bet is the next American Idol. I'm going out on a limb here, but I don't think I am because I heard you sing.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about that for a second. Now,
Okay.
now American Idol is going to be going to Branson, Missouri. You said.
Yes, they're bringing a tour bus.
When is this? When is this happening?
Well, in order to go try out for American Idol and The Voice and stuff, now you have to have an artist account. So you go on and they have their webpage and you sign up, and then they have audition dates and cities. And I think they're coming in late August or July.
Okay.
But I still have to sign up for it, and I'm definitely going
Okay.
to audition.
Now, when we had you sing on the show this morning, you immediately jumped to Adele.
Mm-hmm.
So, are you a big fan of Adele? Is that or
Absolutely. She is the bomb. I mean, Adele, she writes all of her own music. She produces all of her own music. I mean, she's got it going on. She's just, everything she writes about is true, and it's about her life and what she's been through. So it's just inspirational to
What
me.
other artists are you a fan of, or that you look up to, or let me rephrase that. What artists influenced you? Would you say are your biggest influences as far as singing and music?
Definitely, growing up in Branson, I always would, when I tried out for shows, it would be like a Motown show or a jazz show, or someone would ask me to sing R&B, so I'd sing a lot of Etta James, Aretha Franklin, Whitney Houston. You know, they're all amazing. They're legends, you know, so, I mean, all of them I've pretty much looked up to. I love current artists, Carrie Underwood, Kelly Clarkson, all the powerhouse singers. It just amazing. I really just study them and look at them because I've never really had voice lessons. I just go on YouTube and look up karaoke and just go at it.
And you've been singing since you were just
a little kid in choir, and started off at church and then talent shows, because I was a kid. I was kind of nervous to do that because I was like, oh, there's all these great people, you know, who am I? But so, I mean, I kind of built up to it, but now that I'm graduated and done with school, I think that's really going to be my main focus.
Okay.
And since there's so many theaters in Branson, I mean, that's a great
And you're involved
place.
in theater as well.
Yes.
Okay.
And
What kind of shows have you done in theater?
Well, I recently just got done with high school, so I was in all the high school musicals, which was Beauty and the Beast. I was in The Wizard of Oz, and that's Branson High School production, of course. So it wasn't extravagant, but it was a stage to practice on. So any opportunity in that, I had to go for it. So. Okay.
And then let me ask you this: American Idol comes up, you try out for American Idol, you get into American Idol, you win American Idol. Where do you want to go from there? What is your dream as far as singing?
Well, I write my own music.
Okay.
I haven't really got into a studio and been able to produce anything yet, but I love writing. I love poetry. I've always been into that. Honestly, if I won American Idol, I don't know. I would just want to be an example to young kids that you don't have to be sexual and vulgar to be attractive, and you don't have to take your clothes off you don't have to wear heels constantly to be this certain.
See, now when you say that, I mean the person right now that's big in the news about, you know, that kind of thing is what's her name? Miley Cyrus, right? And I think it's because of the shock factor. You know, you went from Hannah Montana to Naked on a Wrecking Ball.
Well, yeah. So, after she went to Hannah Montana, she had of course, the Hannah Montana movie, and then she kind of merged off into her own, and it really wasn't as big as she wanted to be, like the Hannah Montana. So I think she wanted to do that to get herself out there more. And of course, it's always more fun to party and do all that, but I mean, you got to have some self-control. It's like, I don't understand how young kids can go out every night and do all that. It's like, I don't understand that.
So you want to show the other side of that you don't have to do that.
There's more to life than just going out there and partying and getting drunk and smoking and doing all that. That's not what life is. That's not reality.
Gotcha.
People look up to Miley Cyrus and other people like that to get away from that because that's how it is. But I think I'd like to bring a little bit more of reality and realism into the music industry.
Okay. And is there any place people could go if they want to see what's going on, get in
Yes.
contact with you online?
I have a YouTube channel called Rachel Parker 27, and every single competition that I've been in, every single play that I've been able to record is on there. And you can just look up Rachel Parker 27. It has my first recording of my demo, which was a Leanne Womack song called I Hope You Dance.
Okay.
And that was when I was 13, and I went to a expo in Dallas for modeling and talent, and that kind of got me into wanting to be, in the music industry and
Okay.
that kind of stuff. So.
Rachel Parker 27, is that .com?
No, Rachel Parker 27 on YouTube.
On YouTube. All right, so Rachel Parker 27 on YouTube, where you get to find out what it is that you've done, get to see what's happening, get to see the beginnings of the next American Idol. I like saying that.
I like that
Do you
say
like
that.
Do you
I
like
love
that?
that you say that, because it's like when the announcement came up that they were coming to Branson, like my place where I live, it's like I had to verbalize, okay, they're coming for me. They're coming for me.
That's
I
right.
got to take advantage of this, So I wouldn't know what to do if they actually said, okay, yeah, we're going to fly you out to Hollywood, because I've never been there before, so it would be like a
Okay.
euphoria for me.
Right.
It would be crazy.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll be watching. It's like I was telling you yesterday. I watched American Idol until Clay Aiken lost to Ruben Studdard,
Mm-hmm.
and I whined like a little baby and said, I'm not going to watch American Idol anymore, but I'll be watching this season because I'll be looking for you.
Please do.
Okay. Rachel Parker, the next American Idol. You heard it here first. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it.
Hey, I love you guys. I love what you're doing. I love being here at Autism One. It's awesome.
Okay. All right.
Thanks so
we'll see you
much.
again soon.
Please, please, please go to Rachel Parker 27.
Rachel Parker 27 on YouTube. All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, folks. There it was. There was my first interview, and you know what? Is Robert Scott Bell gone again? Oh no, he's over there. Okay.
You should just let me fill in for him for the day.
Look at her. She's ready to take his seat. It's her mom. You let her do the interview. What are these? They gave these to us?
He was sipping on that a second ago, the coconut milk.
Yeah, I got one right there.
Is it good?
It is good. It is good.
I like their ice cream sandwiches.
All
they
right,
have.
so we got So Delicious coconut milk, chocolate coconut milk. Okay. All right, excellent. So Delicious almond plus 5 times protein. Oh, okay. So
That's almond milk.
there we go. Awesome. So you here till Sunday, or what's going on?
Yes, I'm here till Sunday with my mom, and I'm singing.
Oh, right, you're doing the
singing,
worship service.
Yeah, I'm singing Take Me to the King by Tamala Mann, which actually I could not sing at all when I first tried to sing it. It was extremely hard. She hits a falsetto of Oversee, which is like what Mariah Carey hit. So
Shattering Glass.
yeah. So it took me a couple tries to actually get it down, and I think I've perfected it in my way. I can't do it exactly like she does it.
Okay.
But
Nice. Mom was showing me their picture there from a talent show. What was it? Would you saw a
the
picture of?
the Conservatory of the Ozarks Talent Show for Autism. I went in Springfield, Missouri, and tried out and won. And they're
Okay.
going to have me back again this year to sing another song because I won last year. So
Nice.
they're really great people.
Nice. Excellent.
And that's Barbara Fairchild. That's,
Yeah, we're going to be talking with her here
yeah,
in just a little bit as
she's
well.
a great woman. She has sang with me in Branson for a long time.
All right. Barbara Fairchild. So you've sang with her before.
Yeah, she had a #1 hit in the 70s. Yeah, it was in the 70s of I Wish I Was a Teddy Bear.
Oh.
And
Okay.
she has her own theater at Golden Corral attached to a restaurant down there, and
Okay.
she invites me to go sing with her sometimes. And she had her own musical group with 2 other women. I can't think of the name right now, but
Mhm.
I sing those songs with her, and she's helped me out a lot.
Nice. Nice.
She's
So
really cool.
so you've been here this whole time. Let me ask you, what is, if you had to pick the one thing here at Autism One that has impressed you the most, what would you say it is?
The hemp cannabinoid
The
over
the
here.
hemp meds people over
Yeah,
here.
that really impresses me because, it's like bringing a gun to a knife fight. It's like
Nice.
it's really, really cool how they're encouraging that because I honestly think there's no problem with it because it shrinks, you know, we have natural cannabinoid receptors in our bodies
Mhm.
and it shrinks the cells that causes tumors, which is cancer. So instead of going to the doctor and getting chemotherapy, wouldn't you rather want to do that? I mean, it makes
Right.
more sense to me. But
Nice. Nice.
they're
Yeah.
really doing a great job.
Doing great work. We've been working with them for a while now, and working with them because it is. You're right. I mean, it does a lot of good things, and for a long
Oh,
time,
absolutely.
people have run away from that because they think it's something that it's not. So.
Well, it's like they're so focused on people getting addicted to that. It's like, well, there's other drugs that are way more
And you can't get
addictive than
addicted to
that.
it. Yeah, I mean,
You really can't.
yeah,
So, I don't know what the big.
awesome. All right.
I need to add you guys on Facebook.
Actually, I was looking for you earlier.
Type in Rachel Elizabeth Parker. Rachel.
Maybe that's why I didn't find it.
Eliza. Oh, there it is, right there, singer-songwriter.
There it is. All right.
Boom.
So, if you want to add Rachel on Facebook,
You can.
yeah, you want a whole bunch of people doing friend requests.
Of course. I mean, I don't have anything to hide.
All right. Rachel Elizabeth Parker. Awesome.
Those were some pictures I took for my portfolio just recently.
All right.
I had to get some done.
Nice. So how is Branson, Missouri?
It's doing good.
I've never been there. I mean, people talk about go to Branson. They've got what is it, casinos and or resorts or
resorts.
Is that what it is? What is the Branson, Missouri thing?
It's a vacation town.
Vacation town.
For
okay.
usually older people. I mean, they have Silver Dollar City, which is an amusement park, and it's all about back then, like the Bald Knobbers. Have you ever heard of the Bald Knobbers?
No.
They were a group of men that tried to enforce the law in Missouri, and then it ended up not working out, and all these people came and started hanging everybody, and it was just a mess, and it's just a whole story behind it. I can't tell.
It's like a Wild West time type thing?
For sure. And it's a good family town. I mean, there's shows there of usually a lot of families that play instruments and sing, and
that's what I was saying. Do you play an instrument?
I am learning currently to play a little bit of piano.
Okay, because I know quite often it's not that unusual for people that are in theater and the people that sing that they also write music, they play an instrument. I was just curious. What? He's waiting on me? Well, we're just waiting on him.
He's signing autographs.
Hey, Robert. Ready when you are, dude. Okay.
Hey, no problem.
Yeah, we're just hanging out.
This is practice.
It's the Rachel Parker Show. That actually sounds good.
Is it really?
It does. I like that. The Rachel Parker Show.
I've heard people tell me, Rachel Parker, I can remember that, but I've met Rachel Parkers before, so.
Okay.
I think there isn't any Rachel Parker out there that you know of that has made an album or anything. I haven't heard of any.
Have you Google searched it?
No, I haven't. Let's do that now.
See? The power of Google. Let's see here.
I know. Oh, yeah, right.
Mom just said, hey, Rachel, it's my turn. That's funny.
My mom's got a little sass to her.
All right, if we do a Google search of Rachel Parker, Rachel Studio. Oh, look, you're famous. You're also a movie star. You didn't even know it.
Really?
See?
No. Who's that? A Reason to Believe.
Let's see, full bio. Let's see here.
I am a movie star. And I'm a ginger movie star, too.
Okay. Well, okay, not a terribly impressive bio. Anyway. Are we ready? All right. Hey, thanks for hanging out.
Hey, thank
Appreciate it.
you. Signing off. Huh? Okay.
All right, folks.
Okay. Okay. Hey.
All right. That headset was not working. Well, I wasn't getting any sound out of it. I don't know. I just had her grab the other one.
They get scarred.
Try it out.
For saying the truth.
Maybe now.
Check, check,
There
check,
you
check.
are.
Okay.
Hello.
Howdy.
Howdy.
All right, how are the levels? All right, which segments are we doing here?
This one is either a 1 or a 3.
All right, this is for Sunday? Get ahead? Okay. A 1 or a 3. All right, well, we have a 3. We got bulletproof, whatever. Do we want it that same hour?
We could.
Make that the second hour?
We could. Yep. So we'll make this hour 1.
Do I have
or
your
hour 2?
information
All right.
again? That's it. Thank you.
All right. Check, 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 check.
You got ears on? Get that a little closer.
Check.
Hello?
Hello.
Bend easy for you. Is that better?
Am I ready?
Check our levels.
Yep, we're good.
Okay. All right. All right, we're going for how many minutes?
Segment 1, hour 2.
12?
We'll do a little. No, let's
11:50?
do 11:50. Yep.
11:50. Okay. All right, restart. Give us a count.
All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, this hour of the Robert Scott Bell Show, Autism One continues. Of course, we've been talking CBD a lot, and of course, in the autism circles, the issue of mercury keeps coming up. Vaccine damage. As a homeopath, we also deal with vaccinosis remedies, but the mercury, that's the bear. That's the thing that's hard to get out.
We
And
don't ever talk about mercury.
we never talk about
No,
mercury.
no.
And of course, Dr. Batar keys in on that as well. There are a lot of things that we need to do, and we had what was it Friday's show? We had a sweet young lady who sang for us on the air.
Yeah, and not only that, but
What?
I'm telling you.
What?
I'm telling you.
She's the next American Idol.
I think she's the next American
Well,
Idol.
we got the next American Idol's mother.
Oh,
How about that?
All right.
It's a breaking news
Well,
here.
there we go.
Dr. Leah Parker, NMD, Doctor of Naturopathic Medicine, and Natural Solutions Biomedical Treatment of Autism, Detox and Nutritional Counseling. You're spot on where we need to be at this event at Autism One. This is where you need to be.
Well, thank you. I believe I am.
Yeah, and you got the Southern charm working.
Well,
Is it
I've
Texas?
lived all
Is it
over.
Georgia? Where's the Southern coming from? Kentucky?
I'm from South Arkansas, about 30 minutes from the Duck Dynasty Boys. Most people have heard of them, or at least heard
Ty
of them.
Bollinger would be happy to hear
Yeah,
that.
Ty would love that. But I was transplanted Northerner. I became a Southerner by definition because I moved to from New York when I was a kid to South Florida, which is not really, it's South America, or it's New York South, and then moved to Georgia and grew up there for 30 years. So
Well,
that's where I became Southern.
The Southern accent is from Crossett, Arkansas, and I live in Branson, Missouri now.
Okay.
And that's where we call home for the last 12 years.
That's
and
why
we
your
love it
daughter's
there.
singing. That Branson, Missouri. Yeah.
Yeah, she's definitely my singer.
All right. Well, we enjoyed having her on. Bright young lady,
Thank
and a smart mom for sure. Because you, as she said, you helped her to get well at 3. She said she was, I don't know if officially diagnosed in the autism spectrum, but something happened.
Well, she had severe allergies and to all of the foods that she ate. And I was a registered nurse. I am a registered nurse since 1991. And so being a medical person, I looked into everything that I could find out. And most of the doctors said, oh, she'll grow out of some of this stuff and it'll get better. And it just didn't get better. And so the next round of vaccines at 5, she bled from her kidneys, and it just went downhill from there. So I went back and studied, and I became a naturopath, and that's how we started down the path to recovering her.
Okay. Yeah. A mama bear, you got to be worried something happened. Now you're trying to remedy it, which is great because now you with the knowledge you have, you can help others too, which is paying it beyond, just recovering your daughter, which is significant. But the prevention aspect, the fact that you wake up one day and it's like, we were lied to. The doctors lied to us, or whoever's behind the doctor, they lied to us about so many things, and they're harming our children.
Well, I felt that way. I was angry and I was shocked, and I spent a lot of time on my knees praying, and then that was when I decided I would go back to school, and I needed to help others because there wasn't a lot of help where I lived. So that was my choice, and I just couldn't sit still. My thing was, don't just sit there, do something. So that's my call to everyone. Maybe you're not able to go back to school, but maybe you are able to read an article or share it with someone or grow an organic garden, but don't just sit there, do something.
I think that's a little different than yours, because Super Don's always told me, don't just do something, sit there. The show is on. Sit there, talk. I usually do the show standing up.
Oh, I see what you're saying now.
Stand-up show.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Why?
No, that's fine. You're right. Standing up is actually for radio is better than sitting down.
It is. But no, we're enjoying relaxing now because we've been at this for days in a good way.
And we're not done.
And we're not done. We got a lot more folks to talk to, but I'm glad we're talking to Dr. Leah Parker right now. You have also acknowledged what I mentioned earlier, the mercury issue.
Yes.
Big time. This is a big issue.
When I started researching, I wrote a paper that was 155 pages long, and it was Childhood Chronic Disease and Dysfunction Awareness. And one of the articles during my 6-month research paper that my mother said was like 10 master's theses put together. So I found an article on a study of the International Conference on Fetal Programming and Developmental Toxicity, which was held in Tarshan, Faroe Islands, in May of 2007.
Wait. What islands?
Tarshan, Faroe Islands.
You're making that up. That doesn't. Where's that?
Tarshan Faroe. That sounds like out of Star Wars.
Right? Is that
Tarshan Faroe system?
Just take a left at the Hoth planet.
That's right.
Right? Or Dagobah. What is that?
My husband is in the vacation industry, and we'd never even heard of it either.
So we're not just saying that. It
No.
really. That's interesting. Now, okay. So this is who's at this meeting? Who's sponsoring this meeting?
Well, the Center for Disease Control, the World Health Organization, the National Institutes of Health, the National Institutes of Children's Health and Medicine, the National Institutes of Women's Health, the European Environment Agency, and Basic Clinical Pharmacology and Toxicology.
So they found a place that no one knows about to do what?
Well, they had this conference, and basically it's about how a baby's body programs with toxins in it. And the brightest scientists with Europe and America came together, and Tarshan, Faroe Islands is actually between Iceland and Norway, and you have to take a boat to get there. So they had this conference, and basically their findings were, the conclusions that they came to were the immune system undergoes important development both before birth and after, and the new evidence suggested that exposure to some immunotoxic chemicals such as polychlorinated biphenyls, atrazine, and maternal stress may cause apparent reactions of the immune system to foreign proteins, including vaccines. And when I read that, I thought, wow. And then they
wait. The CDC said including foreign proteins and vaccines, but the CDC said vaccines don't cause these problems.
Exactly. So they kind of, I assume, are talking out of both sides of their mouth.
No, that's why they went to the Dagobah system to find a place no one knows, so they could say it didn't happen.
Well,
how do you find it?
Well, I was frustrated because on down in the conclusions they talked about that the aspects of children's health are important with conjunction with developmental toxicity risk are the mother's chemical body burden is going to be shared with the fetus or neonate, and then the child will be exposed to larger doses relative to their body weight, and they are susceptible to adverse reactions are going to be increased during development from preconception through adolescence. And they go on to say that there is an old paradigm, which is 4 centuries old by Paracelsus, was the dose makes the poison. They say, however, for exposures sustained during early development, the most important issue is that the timing makes the poison.
The timing being, let's
early
get you
on.
right when you're born.
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
And then they said, right after that was the extended paradigm deserves wide attention to protect the fetus and child against preventable hazards. And I thought, well, if this deserves wide attention, why am I the only one that knows about it? So I went about my way to show different doctors in my area, parents. It's one of the first things that I go over with parents so that they can understand that it's just not me saying this, that they are actually saying it, but they did it on an island that you have to take a boat to, and nobody knows about it. So.
Wow.
That is stunning. Really well done.
That wasn't
well done.
intentional.
No, we didn't.
No.
We didn't disappear off the face of the earth so you would find us, did we? Website for you, Dr. Leah Parker. How do we find you?
My website is naturalsolutions101.com. And my telephone number for anyone that wants to call me, we do some phone consults for people that are just finding out about autism, and there are some wonderful things that we have done to recover kids just taking Immunical. It is a immune booster. It is a small biologically active protein that carries cysteine into the cell, and it creates glutathione. Glutathione is our master antioxidant in our body, and it detoxes all of the heavy metals and toxins, precancer cells and everything, and we've had great results just with that one supplement. And if people want to know more about it, they can contact me at 417-559-0216, 417-559-0216, and we will definitely get them on the right track.
Excellent. Now, your daughter recovered. Have you had any kids since? She's 20 now, right? Some 18. 18. Oh my gosh. I can't think of it. My son's 14. My daughter's almost 9. I'm thinking, 20-year-old. It's got to be here so fast. 18. So, any other children after her?
Definitely. We have other little kids, some boys, some girls.
Did they get vaccinated?
Oh, definitely. Yes, most of them have. I have one child that has not been vaccinated, but people don't realize even the mercury in the mom's mouth, if she has a lot of mercury fillings, if you take medications that have aluminum in it during your pregnancy, they'll say, oh, it's okay to take this antibiotic, but it may be preserved in aluminum. So if you have a boy, there is a study out that is done that says the testosterone hormone can cause the nerve cell to absorb the heavy metals 100 times more.
Sure, just like fluoride in the water increases the uptake of heavy metals. At what point did you figure, I guess it was after this, that you figured the vaccines might not be such a good idea?
Well, when I got on my knees and prayed for 3 days and said, God, why is my child sick? And I had a friend came in to clean the carpets. We had overflow downstairs, and they needed to come clean. We had a flood. So this man was saying that vaccines were bad, and I thought that he was something, this guy's nuts, you know. Well, he brought me a big, thick binder of all of these court cases that were where the parents had sued the drug companies and they actually won. And a lot of the telltale signs of nerve damage were walking on tiptoes with the dark circles under their eyes, were allergies, and I thought, wow, this is my child. So then I started looking into the ingredients. I went to all of Merck Pharmaceuticals, AstraZeneca, to their website, and I looked up all the ingredients, and then I carried that list to the Environmental Protection Agency, and I plugged them in. The Environmental Protection Agency pulls from a 400 different scientific database, and when I started looking at all of the things that they said they are known to be certain toxins or suspected to be, I was shocked.
Shocked, I say.
You understand what she's doing? She's doing something
What's she doing?
that they don't want you to do.
Yeah,
it's the R word.
Research. Oh my gosh, that's bad. Bad host. I allowed somebody on that does research?
What's going on?
Well, we better take a break and think about this. Dr. Leah Parker, can you stick around for one more segment?
Sure, no problem.
No more research allowed. No, we love you. We appreciate you.
Well, I better go then.
And your daughter was wonderful. We're going to talk a little bit more about some detox protocols, perhaps, and other things that bring the power to heal back to you right here on the Robert Scott Bell Show, streaming live through naturalnewsradio.com and our syndicator GCN. Back after this. Hello, Tyler. How are you? Doing well. Yes. Echo is Paul. He's wearing the jacket. These are some homeopathic medicines. The silver is over there, but he's put it away. But if you want it, he'll pull it out for you. Sovereign Silver.
Good. That's what we have, and I was hoping you were going to tell me that because that's what we've been using.
That's what I use. Yes.
Okay.
Did you want to get a book?
Oh yeah, I do.
Okay, awesome. So we got 5 minutes and 40, 5:30?
5:30.
5:30. No problem. Just coordinating this.
Now, you're the naturopath?
Homeopath. Yeah. Recording. We're hoping. If we can. I don't know what Theo's doing. Do you? Oh. It's your choice. I'd rather hang out with you. Don't go to the baseball night. Stick with us. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. That would be so sweet. Yeah. All right. So you want those two things? Okay. 1737. Yep. Yes. Card. There you go. Just use your finger. You want a receipt by email or text? It'll tell you. It'll give you the option. Want me to sign it for you, Tyler?
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Sure. Thanks. Did you already get into nuclear engineering? Did you get into nuclear engineering yet? Nuclear engineering? Submarines? Who would know? Larry would love Michael. Tyler. Thanks. Okay, 5 minutes and a half to do it.
Okay.
Good, you're doing great. She's a natural.
All
So
right.
what are we talking about now?
We're going to continue our discussion, I think. I mean,
Awesome.
you kind of set the stage. Now we got to go, well, what do we do? How do we get the word out? You know, what are you doing where you are? Because, listen, in the Deep South, they kind of...
There's not a lot.
No, they lost the heritage of their ancestry in natural medicine and botanicals, and they went doctors.
Yeah.
And it's like the doctors took over everything. So anyway, so 5 minutes 30 seconds. Say when.
All right. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Super Don's been so good here on this trip to Autism One in Chicago. We're going to reward him at the bottom of the hour with a visit from the coffee man.
Yay!
Yay! Bulletproof coffee is going to be cool. Dave Asprey is scheduled to join us. But until we get there, we got a segment here to follow up with Dr. Leah Parker. And you mentioned Immunocal. That's an immune modulator. It sounds like something that enhances glutathione production. So it's
Yes.
another option for folks out there to look into if they go to your website, naturalsolution101.
Yes.
Yep.com. And there's a phone number. We have it listed in the show notes at robertscottbell.com as well. Now, you helped your daughter to get well.
Yes, correct.
And are parents bringing their kids to you, or are they coming in for themselves? How is this working out there? What are you doing?
Well, I try, once I graduated in 2011, I started attending some of the local meetings for autism groups there. There's not a whole lot there for help. So the moms know a little bit, but not a lot. And I usually do a lengthy initial visit, and sometimes I will do home visits to begin with so that they don't have to drag the child in.
But aren't they all looking at you squirrely-eyed in the South doing this detox, and then vaccines are not great, and I know I grew up in the South. It's become very medically oriented too, and they just kind of abandon herbs.
Well, it depends on what they're coming to me for. Now, I don't just do autism. I like to specialize in autism because I just have a heart for it.
Sure.
But when you have a child that is damaged and you're looking for help, a lot of times they may seem to feel like that, but they're willing to try just about anything. The mothers are open to anything. And the dads you have a trouble there in the South because the dads don't want to admit that there's anything wrong. And it's very difficult for them to come around and
it's interesting.
and
The
try.
moms are the ones that are leading this more often than not.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
And I mean, I understand a man has a son and they have all these great expectations. And a lot of times, more times, 9 times out of 10, it's a boy that you're
Yeah,
dealing with.
right. Yeah, exactly. So, all right. So, what about organic food? You talking to folks about cleaning up the food they eat?
Definitely. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Hulda Clark, but
Yep.
she was one of the original pioneers.
yeah.
And I tell them about her and to look into it, let them know that it's just not me. There are other people out there. And a lot of them, believe it or not, have actually read a few books. Jenny McCarthy has brought a lot of light to this subject. And so they have some of the understanding, but we take it a little bit further. I flew to New Jersey and trained under Dr. Stuart Friedenfeld, and I was up there for several days, and I brought his original protocol back. This was before I'd ever heard about Immunical. The reason I like Immunical is that it's something that also has nutrition. It's not just a chelating agent.
We'll have to look into this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a biologically active protein, and a lot of the kids with autism, they eat junk.
Yeah,
They'll
of
eat
course.
2 or 3 foods, and they're very picky. So this is adding nutrition along with the ability to pull out the other toxins and heavy metals.
Very nice. Well, that's good, comprehensive. As far as your daughter, now at 18, do you think she'll follow your footsteps into holistic health? I know she loves to sing, though, but that could be a healing thing, too, singing.
Well, I know that when we came to the conference, I didn't know how she would, how she would feel about it, but I asked her after the first night, I said, so what do you think about this? She said, I think it's great, Mom. So I don't know. We're still on the edge of the singing
I'll share
thing.
something with you.
She was on with you for
with
a while.
our exclusive Google Hangout interview.
Yeah.
I asked her, I said, so if you had to pick one thing that has impressed you the most being here at Autism One, what would it be? You'll never guess what it was she said.
Super Don. I'm right.
What do
I'm
am
so
I
right.
blushing? No, she didn't.
Oh, okay.
She said the cannabidiol.
Really?
She was really
Wow.
impressed with hemp meds and the cannabidiol.
CBD.
Yeah,
excellent.
absolutely.
That's great news.
Yeah.
Well, listen. She's growing up with a mom who's given her insight because of the injury that happened to do some things in her life. Let's say she goes into singing. She becomes a star. She's got knowledge about things that she could have influence. So there's nothing wasted here,
Exactly.
no matter what. Yeah.
And she said, Mom, if I do make it big in the singing industry, I want to help a lot of people with autism. So she's already got that ingrained in her. I don't know if she'll actually follow in my footsteps, but if she does sing and she does make it, she's definitely going to be helping.
Great.
Very cool. Dr. Leah Parker, we appreciate you so much for dropping by and getting the word out where you are in the South. I just love, because I grew up in the South and I haven't been there. Even though I am in the South, technically I'm like in between, so I don't get to hear the beautiful Southern accents that I love so much I grew up with. So thank you for that,
We need to find
too.
our way to Branson, Missouri at some point.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Branson would be fun. Yeah, I think so.
There's a lot to do there. We love it there. I think we'll be there. And if you know anybody that needs help in that area or anywhere,
we got her number now,
send them
right?
our way.
And everybody else
All right.
does too. All right, RobertScottBell.com, 6 days a week, broadcasting 2 hours a day. And, of course, archives are available through naturalnewsradio.com where this streams, GCN, our syndicator, heard around the world on UK Health Radio as well as Digital Radio 103 Down Under. And, of course, all the podcasts from iTunes to Stitcher and who knows what else. Stick around. We've got lots more healing to go. And coffee for Super Don because he's been so darn good. Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Awesome. All right, Miss Barbara Fairchild has been really helpful with me as well. We met each other, and she,
Okay.
in the South, you just don't have a lot of money. People don't have a lot of money. So my goal was, how am I going to help these people that have all of these issues and not have to pay 10 grand or whatever, So the Immunical has been great because it pulls all the junk out. They don't have to spend IV, the money for the IV. And then I actually have sent some of my patients to Carrie Rivera, which is the CD,
Right, I've had her on.
And I know that
We've
that
interviewed
is
Hulda Clark
a
years ago.
controversial. You did? Oh, man. How long has she been fast?
Oh, a few years now.
So how long
Yeah,
have you
since
guys been
years.
doing the radio program?
I've been on since 1999.
Oh, wow. So
When you were a
love it?
baby.
No, I'm not a baby.
You were.
Born in
You were.
1970.
See, you're
I'm no
baby. You're baby. I'm the old man in this thing.
So how did you get involved in holistic? Were you holistic before the radio?
I was pharmaceutically grown.
Really? So you were, what did you say?
Pharmaceutically grown.
You were? So you were all about
Medical family.
Really? Wow.
Sick as a dog because of it.
Really? I'll show you.
That's a canary in the coal mine, a Generation
We've
X.
got Dr. Bradstreet coming up next. I'm going to run to the back.
Okay.
Let me show you what my leg looks like when I started Immunical. This is a patient of mine that started a page because her son is
So
recovered.
Immunical is the company. It's not you. You're just selling their products.
Immunical is a product. It's
Okay.
actually in the PDR. You can get a prescription for it, but it's cheaper to buy it from directly. Now, do you know Luke? I'm going to destroy his last name. Montagnier.
Yeah, I've interviewed him too.
He devoted an entire chapter in his book to Immunical. So this is what I had psoriasis, which is my grandmother had it, my mom had it. I didn't get it until I was 41.
Right.
And that's what it looked like at the beginning. That was only on one leg. But still, what are you going to do, wear shorts on one side?
Nice.
Never had it since I've been on it. Well, after 4 weeks.
Yeah.
But
Psoriasis is a fair.
Well, there are tons. I had a patient that came to me with 15 brain tumors, and after being on Immunical for 5 weeks, they had shrank to where you could barely see them on a scan.
Wow.
Now, she was on 2 packs in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, and 2 at night. So I need to bring you that information so that you can have it, because it's worth talking about. I mean, especially the fact that you can buy 2 months for $119, and for little kids, that's 4 months.
Right.
Way cheaper than chelation.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. This is my producer, Super Don Taylor.
Hi.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Good to see you, Super Don.
Good to meet you.
Come on in, have a seat. All right, thanks for keeping it going a little late here with us. Let's see, we got you. That's mine. Where's the other one? That's mine. That's yours. So this is obviously.
Yeah. Actually, I had a syndicated radio show for 5 years.
I don't have to tell you anything. We're good.
There's all the devices. So, yeah.
Cool. Let me just see where we're going to go with this.
That is one beat up laptop or iPad.
Well, it's a case.
The case
Yeah.
is a little, I don't know. The laptop's got some.
Yeah, that too. And then, and of course, my son gets
Thank you very much.
All
We'll be in
right.
touch.
So, and a teenager. Thankfully, he's
Didn't
in.
have any metal. Wow.
He loves the
Sunday, if
70s
you guys
and
are
80s.
still
Old
here.
school.
We're gonna pack up here as soon as we're done with this thing.
How old is your son?
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, my son's 14, so they hang out and have a good old time. No, thankfully, I'm a homeopath, but I was raised pharmaceutical. I was grown that way because I had doctors and family pharmacy people.
Evil doctor.
Yeah, and I had to, become regular organic. I had to detox, become a homeopath, change my life, and married. My wife was becoming a chiropractor, and we both had assault without vaccines in our young life, so we learned before we had our kids, so we cleaned up. And they're organic. They've never even had an antibiotic. So
Test.
Are we doing radio or video?
Are we doing radio?
We're both.
We're both?
We're both.
Wow.
News to me, I thought we were just. That's good.
That's news to me too.
I thought we were just radio, but that's fine. Good. I'm gonna put on my makeup.
What, huh?
I think it's local.
What about it?
It's the internet.
Yeah, I saw
That's far
that.
enough way I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, you're
You
good.
score. I know you.
They'll be doing
I was bragging about this. Okay.
All right. What? Coconut milk. Yeah. Pour it in the bathtub, bathe in it.
Hey, definitely take a picture, babe.
Yeah, we definitely need pictures of this. All right, so let's see. Which website can we refer to for you?
Use the drbradstreet.org. That's the blog. It's nonprofit, and it has a lot of good information
All
for
right, let
folks
me
on it.
make a note of that.
drbradstreet.org. Nothing commercial, no solicitation,
Okay.
just the facts.
Do we want to air this for Sunday or Monday? Maybe Monday show?
Monday.
It's Advanced Medicine Monday, so
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
That would work well. All right, let's see. What is the date for Monday? Just get this. Don't lose it. So many interviews we're doing.
Good for you.
26.
Okay, thank you. 26. That's Memorial Day, so we'll have
Yep,
the Memorial
it
Day
is.
show. All right.
You gonna podcast it?
Yeah, everything goes out. Usually we are live, but we're kind of, since we're here getting all these interviews, we're going to pot in some pre-records, and then
So
immediately goes into.
It'll air during the normal live show time, and it will be podcasted.
So if you send me a link to the pod, then I can put that on my blog.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can blog the pod.
Blog
There
the
you
pod.
go.
I love it. All right.
All right, let's see what we got here on levels. Testing 1, 2. Check, check, check.
1, 2, 3. 1,
Hold
2,
on.
3.
Let me just take a look at it real quick here, too.
What is he on? Is he on 1?
Yeah, I've moved this to 4, so you guys are 1 and 2.
Okay. Test, 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 test. All right, that's test, test. There's me. All right, testing 1, 2. Test, test, check, check, check. All right.
There it is.
All right, give me another mic check.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
All right,
8.
there we go.
So
Should be good.
the main focus, of course, is the CBD research that you've come across, and
Well, actually, we've done 2 studies and are working on several more.
okay, excellent. All right, so we're gonna. What do you think? 2, 3, segment 2 and 3.
Yes.
Okay. So we got 5, 30, and 12, 50. Yeah. Okay. All right. You say when?
All right, here we go in 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, hope everybody's having a great Memorial Day weekend. We're out here working. Actually, no, we were working last week at Autism One, and we ran into a super. He's super cool. He's doing some great research on a lot of things for many years. We've known about him, Dr. Jeff Bradstreet, here at Autism One. He revealed some research related to something we've been covering a lot lately, the cannabidiol, the CBD. Endocannabinoid system. These things are so exciting. It's like the neglected system of the 20th century. Halfway through, they said, oh, it doesn't exist. You can't have anything for it. And now suddenly there's a resurgence. And Dr. Jeff Bradstreet is right at the center of it, apparently. And I appreciate you being on with us.
Great to be with you, Robert.
Yeah. So, what did you present at Autism One? How do we access it for a lay audience as well as the doctors that listen? It's kind of a mix here.
Yeah. What we tried to link up for people was, is there a system that serves as the nexus of these complex gut immune brain dysfunctions? And it doesn't apply just to autism. It applies to obesity, cardiovascular disease, premature neurodegenerative disorders, all kind of link into that same system. So for years, we've been researching the immune system and publishing on that. We couldn't ever find the key immune triggering system that had the potency to do the kind of crazy things that we see with autism. As an example, how does a child eat a single goldfish cracker and go psycho? I mean, literally psychotic behavior for 2 days. What mechanism is behind that? You can't explain it by allergy. It's just insufficient as a reactant. So the only system that really has that kind of clout in the human body is the endocannabinoid system, which is there naturally, not for marijuana's sake. It's there to regulate. So the endocannabinoids are in the body, that whole system, to essentially surveil on a constant basis. The brain is looking to see what is the environment bringing.
Well, when you say
everything else.
When you say this is the system that could do that could be involved in
Powerful
that mechanism of action, that means it can't be just in one place, right? It's got to be in a few other, but maybe it could be a little bit everywhere. Where do you find this?
So the cannabinoid system in the body kind of breaks down. Currently, we know about 2 major receptors called CB1, cannabinoid 1, and cannabinoid 2. CB1 is largely neurological, although it can be pro-inflammatory. So it tends to rest primarily within the neurological system, but it crosstalks in a variety of different ways. As an example, CB1, improperly regulated, leads to obesity and inflammation. CB2 is largely anti-inflammatory, and CB2 doesn't possess any psychoactive properties, unlike CB1, which is kind of the get high sort of where the THC, the active psychotropic component of marijuana, actually interacts with the brain. So CB2 is anti-inflammatory and really incredible. However, there are cannabinoids within natural occurring plants that don't interact with either CB1 or CB2. They interact with the nucleus of the cell and regulate transcription.
Whoa.
So they change the DNA message to say less inflammation, more calm, less anxiety, and those things are incredibly important.
The cannabinoid system is not something we've heard all the years that I've been doing broadcast radio, interviewing doctors and researching. You'd hear reference occasionally, but boy, oh boy, suddenly it is on the radar. Do you recall, was this a normal part of the curricula in med school?
Yeah, this is the verboten part of the curriculum in med school. So I did a survey of 20 colleagues. So I just sent out an email to 20 of my close colleagues, and I said, what do you know about the endocannabinoid system? And every one of them came back with zip. I don't know anything about it. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it does.
Wasn't
I don't
that
know
in
what it
Star
regulates.
Wars, the endocannabinoid system?
Yeah, I think that's the way you actually made it through the planet.
Yes, yeah.
To get to the other side is through the endocannabinoid system. So the cool thing actually about this entire complex regulatory pathway is despite all of the nonsense in the U.S. with the regulatory chaos, where we can't tell as physicians what the DEA, the FDA, the states really want us to do and what's appropriate. So all of that has created massive confusion here in the U.S., and it's delayed research by decades. But the United States is not the only nation that's doing intensive research. Spain has produced some tremendous work with the endocannabinoids. Germany, even at the Max Planck Institute, which is one of the highest rated neuroscience institutes in the world, has done extensive research on the endocannabinoid system. So a lot of really amazing things are taking place on a day-to-day basis that are important to all of us,
Yes.
and equally important to those with special needs. So you've got the autistic population, the Alzheimer's population, Parkinson's. There's research coming out in all of those areas. I'm happy to be a part of the autism-related endocannabinoid research.
I'm happy that you're here discussing it. Can you stick around for one more segment?
Absolutely.
All right, Dr. Jeff Bradstreet is our guest from Autism One. It's paying healing dividends here right through the Memorial Day weekend. We've got lots more healing to go on the Robert Scott Bell Show. Check it out, robertscottbell.com, and we'll link up and tell you how you can find out more about Dr. Bradstreet after this break.
Very nice.
Good? Excellent. 5:30. So this next one will give us more in-depth time to kind of travel or transit, but you're flowing. It's like, we're pulling teeth over here.
Not
at all. He's great. Do you have any other presentations before you go home?
Yeah, we do the keynote tomorrow.
Keynote tomorrow.
It's actually going to be.
I wish I could be there for that. We got to go to Atlanta tomorrow.
That's where that's my main practice area is Atlanta.
It is, okay. Yeah, I was there for 30 years. But
well, we live in Brazelton, if you know where that
is.
Chateau
of course. Yeah.
Right there.
And then we got to come back here for Sunday. And then we go home. Then we come back to Chicago in a couple of weeks.
Crazy.
So, yeah, I know.
Well, you will miss the keynote, but it's going to be some amazing research on MRT as well as GCMEF, which is a remarkable protein. We're going to present all that with our little trio tomorrow.
Okay, excellent. So we're going 12:50?
40.
40.
Yep.
Say when.
All right, going in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, we're doing some more advanced medicine with Dr. Jeff Bradstreet, doing some great work and talking about the endocannabinoid system in an area where he said it was verboten. For those of you who are not from Germany, I think that means forbidden.
Exactly.
Just to be sure. drbradstreet.org, drbradstreet.org. We've linked it up in the show notes. You can check it out, learn more about it. I believe that's a site that's more invested in education, not selling things or anything. So
no, you can't buy anything on it. You can't be promoted on it. There's no advertising. It's purely just an educational resource.
Okay, good. So let's dive back into the education. You mentioned CB2 receptor, CB1. Were we talking receptors or actual cannabinoids?
Yeah, so here's how it works. You have the receptors on your cell surface, and your systems are looking for ligands, which are things that will plug in or attach. They get the name ligands. So these are fatty acid type substances that are prevalent in your diet. Your gut bacteria make them for you. They change based on the content of the food that you eat. So those endocannabinoids have ligands. Those are various chemical fatty acid substances that attach to them, and with that, things change on the inside of the cell. Either anxiety goes down or anxiety goes up.
Right.
Either sleeplessness improves or sleeplessness comes in as a problem. It really depends on the status of those various receptors. And
sure, and that means that the same cannabinoid could have a different impact in a different person depending on what that person's makeup is at the time?
So kind of think about it as like a thermostat. So we have thermostat wars in my office, okay?
Yes.
So we have people who like the thermostat hot and people who like the thermostat cold, and we fight back and forth all the time. So the endocannabinoid system is constantly trying to re-regulate, not your temperature so much, but the entire regulation of your body, from the state of your mood. Do I need to eat? Am I satisfied? Do I need to sleep? Is it time to, procreate? all of that is actually controlled through the endocannabinoid system. People who have defects in this don't want to eat. They don't want to have partners. They don't want to be social. They can't sleep properly at night. Simple re-regulation of that restores balance into that entire system. So we did some incredible research with monocytes. These are white blood cells pulled out of kids with autism. We compared them to kids who did not have autism, and we saw dramatic changes, and I showed that slide in my last talk, where there was between a 10 and 20-fold difference in cannabinoid dysregulation in the autism population compared to their healthy developing peers.
Well, Dr. Bradshaw, the reason I asked that question too is because I've been interviewing a lot of folks, doctors and patients, about kids as well, particularly with autism, but more than that, seizure disorders, things. And I'm finding that they're taking a similar or the same product, and it's impacting them in radically different ways. So this is kind of getting at that understanding.
Yeah, do you like it hot or do you like it cold? You know, where's your immune system at? Is it turned up or is it turned down? You know, are you anxious or are you depressed? You know, are you both? You're anxious and depressed. So you have this constellation and mix of different patterns, but it's very individualistic. So some species have relatively high THC to cannabidiol ratios. Those tend to be more psychoactive. Others are very more prone to have large amounts of CBD, like there may be a 20 or 30 to 1 ratio between CBD and THC in certain plants that are out there. Those tend to be extremely anti-inflammatory because that regulates the CBD pathway.
Okay, very cool. Now, I have had a personal experience with my own family, my wife, who has dealt with a trigeminal neuralgia since post-extraction. The nerve was really inflamed, damaged, and 2+ years of pain. Everything we know holistically could do little. Even the heavy narcotics, which we are not fans of, she tried because there was desperation. We know the danger, but it didn't work. Now, we didn't know about the CBD. We were introduced to it. She began utilizing the concentrated form, and it was the first thing in 2+ years that took her out of that intense pain. And we're not talking mild.
Oh, no.
Intense.
I believe you completely. You know, the research on basically extinguishing chronic neuropathic pain, so pain that's coming from a damaged nerve, and CBD is very strong. And there's multiple articles in the medical literature, so that's solid data. It's not even. I think really we proved it clinically with my wife. I don't think that's even really controversial.
Okay.
If you know the literature.
Yeah, no, but the thing is, I ask you that because here I'm experiencing it more from a, let's say, clinical interaction with somebody and hearing these stories as well, not necessarily having reference to the data if it backs it up. Now, we know sometimes the data is not up to speed with what people are seeing clinically. It's nice to see, oh, well, yeah, that makes all the sense in the world. This is what we're seeing. That's not an anomaly.
No, you know, what's amazing is medicine, because of the regulatory environment in the United States, has been stuck in its own reefer madness. I mean, we've been insane over the whole pot issue. You know, trying to, rather than trying to exploit the good features, the good chemicals that are present within the cannabis plants, we've actually gone the opposite direction in this country, and we've labeled it as an abusive drug. For goodness sake, yes, THC can be hallucinatory. I know people who, go out on a Friday night and drink whiskey and black out and don't know who they were the next day.
Why are you looking at me? That wasn't me.
No.